Well, guys, we're tracking ahead. We're looking at this Feast of Trumpets. We're looking at the betrothal process. And last time we talked about the man who would knock at the door, and he would wait for the woman to come to the door before he would go in. And there's something really beautiful about that. You see, Jesus knocks on the door of our hearts, but he doesn't bust his way in. He doesn't force his way into the home or into our hearts. We have to let him in. Just like the woman about to be betrothed had to let him in, we also have to let him in. And so let's say we've let him in and now he comes into our hearts. Let's go back again to the culture, to the actual betrothal that took place in the first century. And can you imagine, as I began to learn this and began to study this, how blown away I was that this information was sitting there for 2,000 years. But for some reason, we as the church, we just never got a hold of it. I don't think it's because we didn't want to, but I just don't think we knew that it was there. Because as I present this in churches all across the country, people see it and they're really, really hanging on to it. So the man comes down and he sits at the table, and a meal has been prepared in anticipation that she would say yes. Now, before they can start the meal, a very, very important ritual has to take place. See, the man would take a bottle of wine or a jar of wine, and he would pour her a glass of wine. Then he would pick up that glass and he would offer it to her. And she had a very, very important decision to make. And you might not think, well, what's the big deal about drinking a glass of wine at a proposal? You see, the moment she took that glass and the wine touched her lips, the moment she took a sip of wine, according to the law of Judaism of that day, they were legally married. It was a done deal. The betrothal process would now begin. So then the groom, seeing what she did, he would now take the cup and then he would drink it, and that would be the final seal on the deal. It was his acknowledging her yes to him in proposal. I mean, it was a huge, huge momentous opportunity. Now, guys, let's go back to the Last Supper, to that final Passover meal that I said we'd be going back to look for parallels here. Jesus says in the Gospels that he took the cup. In Matthew 26, it says he took the cup. We can assume that he poured and filled that cup, and then he said, take this cup as I give thanks, drink from it, all of you. Look at the parallel. Just like the groom offered the bride the cup, now Jesus the groom takes the cup and he offers it to his bride, the disciples, the beginnings, the foundation of the very church. See how the parallels are staying very, very closely knit together. But then we have a problem because the male is now supposed to take that cup and drink it himself. But at the Last Supper, the Bible says that Jesus said, I will not drink this cup, not till I'm with my Father in heaven. Well, hang on a second, we have a problem. Either you're wrong, Joe, or the Bible is miswritten or something, or maybe it's that we don't understand the culture. I think it's that one. Because look at what happens next. He doesn't drink the cup physically there at the table, but a few hours later, after they finish the meal, the Passover, he goes to the Garden of Gethsemane and he prays. And look at what he says in Matthew 26:39. Going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and he prayed, my Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will. The cup wasn't a physical cup in a comfortable place in the upper room. The cup was the cross. And he gladly took the cup for you and I. And I don't know about you, but that just takes the crucifixion and his sacrifice to a whole new level of meaning. I hope this is blessing you. I know it's blessing me. I'm Joe Amaral.